Hi guys, James at RampantLionReviews again for you today with another beer review. For this one we are going to head up towards Gothenburg once again, Göteborg you should say in Swedish, and as I've told you many a time, Gothenburg really is the craft beer city when it comes to Sweden. So for this one we're going to try another brewery who I've never tried anything from, but I have heard very good things about these guys. So for this one we're going to go to Mikrofonbryggeriet for the very first time, the Microphone Brewery if you want to translate the name into English, and we're having a taste of their lead singer Syndrom tonight. So this one's a New England IPA coming in at 6.3%, and it's a pretty highly rated beer actually. If you check this one out on Rate Beer, I think it was a 90, so either a 91 or a 93 overall in the style, and vice versa. It was somewhere around that kind of region that this beer was rated at, but it should be really nice. As I say, I've heard very good things about this brewery, so looking forward to trying one of their beers for the first time, and as always I hope you guys enjoy my take on this one. So anyway, as is usual with my reviews then, I'll tell you a little bit about the brewery. If you want to get straight to the tasting, just fast forward. All the usual links are in the description below. That's the brewery website, the link to my other reviews that hopefully I could do in the future from Mikrofonbryggeriet, which is the very first time I'm trying one of their beers like I said. There's all the usual social media. If you want to see more beer reviews, do please consider subscribing to the channel. The whole channel of course has a geography based tagging system, so you can go into the homepage and search for beer based on country, city, state, county, prefecture, whatever it is you're interested in. Do check out the playlist of beers from different countries. There is one there for all the Swedish beers that I've reviewed for you. That's constantly being added to, and as always please do get in touch and let me know some of the other beers and breweries that you guys would like to see me review. It's always great to hear from you guys that are watching the videos, and the support that you show the channel is hugely appreciated. So anyway, to tell you a little bit about Mikrofonbryggeriet then. So Mikrofonbryggeriet, as I've told you, are based in Gothenburg. I'm not sure if they're a gypsy brewery at the moment or if they are still brewing their own stuff. Well, that was something I really could not find out about this brewery, but Mikrofonbryggeriet is basically the brainchild of Nikola Sarsevitz, who was a singer and songwriter for the band Millencolin, who are still going actually. They've been around and been making music since 1993, and they're the same kind of genre as the likes of Green Day and sort of things like that, but apparently they sort of rode the wave of all these kind of rocky bands, sort of kind of punk rock bands coming in the early 90s, and they had quite a bit of success actually. They toured all across Europe, and I think they went over to different continents and things as well. But originally the band were based in Örebro, but then when they took a break, Nikola decided to move to Gothenburg, and in 2013 he began homebrew with his friend Christian Silva while he was studying international marketing in Skövde. But the two were brewing very small 20-litre batches together, and then Nikola went to Berlin to do a 2-week brewing course, and he apparently made very good friends with a brewer from Paraguay who he still keeps in contact with and gives him tips on brewing and things like that. But the two decided then to start the company together, and it was based for a while in Nikola's house, and they were brewing 200-litre batches then. They were saying they had like a 50-litre kettle, and so they were having to brew the beer in 4 different batches if you like before they could do their fermentation and their hopping and things like that. So you know, it was a pretty intensive time in the early days. From what I gather though, they have scaled up a little bit, and like I say, I'm not sure about this brewery. I couldn't find that out, whether they're actually brewing you know, they're doing gypsy brewing or something like that and brewing at one of the other host breweries in Gothenburg or something like that, or whether they actually have got their own little facility now. I really could not find that out, so if you do know anything about that particular part, do let me know in the comment section below. But what I do know is Gothenburg based brewery run by Nikola Sarsevitz, and they do some pretty good IPAs. So yeah, I guess for the moment that's all we really need to know about Mikrofonbryggeriet for just now. But yeah, really interesting brewery this one. Hopefully we see more from them in the fairly near future, but from what I've heard, they will likely have a very good future in front of them. Their beers are supposed to be very good. But yeah, if you want to learn a little bit more, you can follow them on Facebook. When I had a look on their Facebook, they are very active. There's pretty much posts every day or every 2 days or something like that. They're attending a lot of festivals at the moment, trying to get their name out there. So yeah, give them a follow on Instagram, follow them on Facebook as well, and you can check out the brewery website, which is in the description below as well. But yeah, interesting brewery this one, and as I always say, it's cool to try new beers from different places. And you know, the quality of Swedish beers today is really pretty damn good, I have to say. But there you can see, artwork on this one is fairly simple, but effective, I think you could say. But yeah, nicely presented. There's the Mikrofonbryggeriet symbol there. Just let the camera focus on that. You can see the nice multicoloured hop flower. But yeah, 6.3% New England style IPA this one, and yeah, not much else to say about it. So let's get it out and we'll get on with the tasting then. I'm really curious about this one. Oh yeah, when you open this one up, you really can smell some of these lovely hops in there. But yeah, we need to be careful with this, I think. I've had this beer about 2 or 3 weeks now. We'll just need to let it settle. Yeah, when it's got a head this size, it's obviously been in the can for a little while actually, so we'll just let it settle down. Now that we've got to open and it's kind of opening up a little bit, it should be okay. But yeah, as you can see with this one, it's poured a nice kind of bright, almost goldeny, slightly orangey yellow colour. It is a nice looking beer, this one. Pretty much as you would expect from the New England IPA, obviously though the head is a little bit bigger than you would expect. But yeah, bright sort of yellowy hazy colour this one. If I put my fingers behind the glass, you know, there is a good little bit of haze to this one. Some big bubbles sticking towards the side of the glass there, a few little ones heading up towards the bottom of that head there. But it looks, you know, pretty much as you would expect from the New England style there. Big massive head on this one. If I'm telling you the colour of the head, I would say that it's yeah, it's mainly perfectly white, but there might be a little touch of an almost kind of fawn colour to this one, but you can see the beer is kind of gradually sort of creeping up there. But let's take a closer look at the aroma then and see how we get on with this one. So yeah, with this one, I think a bit of mango in there. Yeah, definitely mangoes. A little bit of, maybe a little bit of passion fruit or something as well. Maybe there's some, maybe it's Citra and Simcoe that's in here. And there's a wee bit of an orange. It's kind of a sharp orange, so don't know, not maybe mandarins, something like that. Yeah, sort of a sharper mandarin-y orange kind of coming out of this one. Maybe there's a bit of mosaic in here as well though, because I suspect there's Citra in this. I'd be curious because there is a bit of mango coming out of it. But yeah, I think maybe, you know, there's a few hops that are coming into my mind with this. I always like playing guess the hop with these beers, if you don't know what hops are in them. There's a little bit of pineapple in here as well. And when you've got passion fruit and pineapple, that always makes me think of Galaxy, possibly Ella. And you know, those two are quite similar. But obviously the flavours and stuff and the aromas you get from Galaxy are a little bit more prominent. So I think it's one of those two. If you know, Galaxy's becoming quite a popular hop these days, particularly with New England IPAs. So if I had to hedge my bets, I would say Galaxy. I think there's some Citra in here as well, and maybe a little bit of mosaic. I think my bets are going for Citra, mosaic, and Galaxy, but we'll see about that. I'd be interested to know, so let's put a little bit more of this in just before we have a taste of it. But in terms of the grassy kind of floral side of things of this beer, I would say this beer leans a little bit more towards the grassy side of things. You've got a nice sort of bready quality to the malt base as well. I would definitely say that about this one. There is a nice bready quality to the malt base in this beer. But you can smell some of the oaty creaminess coming out of it as well. It had a little bit of a biscuity note, I would say. But in terms of the floral, grassy side of things, for me, this one leans a little bit more towards the grassy end of things. But yeah, as I always say, take a little bit of time and enjoy the aroma of this one before you get into the tasting. But I think this is going to be a nice beer. Just going from the aroma, I think this is going to be a really nice beer. You can see the head, if I bring the glass up to you there, the head in this one is kind of fairly bumpy. So just bear that, just keep a little look at that, that's quite nice actually. But let's have a taste of this one then. So this one is the Lead Singer Syndrome, a New England type IPA. It's 6.3% from Mikrofonbryggeriet in Gothenburg. I'm putting on a brain fart there. The city wouldn't come to me. Let's get stuck into this one then. Slanja, skål. Yeah. So, straight away, I can see with this beer why it's quite highly rated. Okay, it is pretty good. I just want to get the last of it in so we can let it settle properly. There we go. So, with this beer, straight away, I can see why it's quite highly rated. You know, it's got a really nice blend of flavours in it. It's got a nice kind of bitter kick to it as well, which is good. You know, that's one of the things. We've had these kind of hazy, you know, haze for days IPAs for a long time. Personally, as I've said in a couple of videos, I do miss the kind of sweetness and bitterness that you always got from the from the West Coast IPAs. Yeah, and this one does have that nice big bitter kick to it. If I had to guess the IBUs in this, I'd say it's maybe up around 50, maybe pushing 60. Not sure, probably I'd say near 50 to be honest, which is a little bit heavier than you get from most New England IPAs. Normally most of them are around the 30, sort of 40-ish mark. But yeah, this is nice. So, with this one then, let's start with the malt base. You've got a nice little bit of a white, sort of bready quality of this. You can feel that blanket in the middle of the tongue. On top of that, there's a little bit of a wheaty smoothness in there, a little bit of kind of an oaty, creamy character sitting on top of that. There's a little bit of a biscuity sweetness in there as well. You can pick that up. So, it's pretty much got everything you would expect from the malt base. As I say, pale malty quality, a little bit of a wheaty smoothness, some oaty notes in the middle of the palate, and just a little touch of biscuit. But the biscuit is very, very subtle in this one, I would say. Yeah, but this beer, I can see why this one is quite highly rated. I think it comes across really nice. It's got everything you would want from the style. On the hoppy side of things then, back corners of the palate, I think there's a teeny tiny touch of earthiness in there. That does make me wonder if there is a bit of mosaic in there, just this little bit of earthiness that it's got. As you come further forward, that it just kind of smooths out. It's a little bit smooth in the back corner of the palate, then towards the front corners of the tongue, it's got a nice, quite spicy floral aromaticity to it. That does make me wonder about the Galaxy. I always remember Galaxy having a good little bit of a spicy floral notes to it, but then round the very front curve of the palate it's a bit lighter and more kind of grassy, I would say, but it does have a little bit of floral quality around the front curve of the palate as well. Behind the front curve of the tongue, that's where you get that little nice oily bubble where you start to get some of these juicy kind of fruity notes out of the beer. But yeah, so for me with this one, it's mangoes. I think there's a little bit of passion fruit and pineapple in there as well. So at the start, I think in that oily bubble, I think you've got a little bit of I think there's a little bit of mango there just forming the base. A little bit of passion fruit underneath. You've got that slightly darker passion fruit flavour in there. Nice little bit. I think the oranges, there's a sort of tangerine, probably not tangerine actually, maybe mandarin orange. It's a little bit of a slightly sharper orange there. And then as you go further into the aftertaste, I think there's a wee bit of a lychee and almost kind of blueberry note for this one. As I say, I reckon there's citra in this. I do think there's a little bit of citra in here. And I would suspect, I wonder if there's Galaxy and Mosaic. I mean, I might be talking absolute rubbish with those hops because there's so many different hops these days, but I think, I've got a feeling that that at least some of those might be in this one. But in terms of the New England IPA, it's a nice one this. It's maybe not quite as creamy. We'll talk about the mouthfeel. This one's maybe not quite as creamy as some of the ones you're going to find. And it's got a good little bit more of a kind of hop bite to it, which is nice. It's a slightly more bitter New England IPA, this one, I think. So if that sounds like your kind of thing, I think you will quite enjoy this one. In terms of the style though, it has everything you would really want from the flavour. Not quite as creamy in the malt base like I say, but it's got a little bit more of a hoppy bite to it. So in some ways it is a New England IPA, but it's taken some of the things that I really like about the West Coast style. Overall, I would say this one is a sort of mid-bodied beer. Carbonation has a little bit of a prickle to it, but you saw how big the head was. I think it's maybe just been in the can a little bit longer than it should ideally have been. But yeah, with this one, good little bit of hoppy bitterness to it. It's got that nice kind of floral quality. I think it's a little bit more bitter than some of the other ones that come across. The mouthfeel overall, I think it's got a little touch of oily quality to it, but it leans a little bit more towards the wetter side of things. A little touch of creaminess in it as well. Good hoppy bitterness, as I say, I reckon around 50 IBUs, somewhere in that region. Malt base, mainly sweet, but a little bit of creaminess in there, and it's got a good little bit of a juicy, fruity quality in there as well. Overall, like I say, everything you would want from the New England style, but a little bit more of a West Coast. It's got a little bit of a West Coast bite to it, if that makes sense. It's got a little bit of that nice hoppy bitterness that you'd expect from the West Coast beer, but overall a really solid IPA. And I can see why this brewery is pretty highly rated. So have a go at it for yourself and see what you think. So let's leave it at that for this one. This one was the lead singer Syndrom from Mikrofonbryggeriet in Gothenburg here in Sweden. A really interesting beer, this one, and I definitely want to try more. A nice New England IPA with just a little bit more of that kind of West Coast bite to it. So yeah, have a go at this one for yourself and just see what you think. But once again, thank you for watching my beer reviews. Until the next time, please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. Let me know your own thoughts on this one in the comment section below. Let me know what your favourite beers are from Mikrofonbryggeriet as well. If you've tried a lot of them, they have got, I think it was about 40 or so beers listed on Untappd, or 50 when I was having a look earlier, so they are fairly prolific, but I think at the moment they've only got 2 cans of things out in the Systembolaget, but hopefully that can change over the next little while. But yeah, thank you for watching my beer reviews, and I will catch you guys very soon. The lead singer Syndrome, a 6.3% New England IPA from Mikrofonbryggeriet in Untappd, Gothenburg here in Sweden. Until the next time, it's Landed just now, and I will catch you guys very soon. Make sure you check out my Swedish playlist, and make sure you let me know your thoughts on this one in the comment section below. Skål!